listening to the new Nas, and I'm looking at a post that Joe Moses just made. He's talking to Rolling Loud about how LA don't have their own stage. And it ain't no myth or no mystery. It's a lot of hate when it comes to South Central, when it comes to direct niggas that's directly from LA. You know what I mean? You got, I bring up the Nas album because this nigga said Compton, Long Beach, IE. I was like, what? And you skipped South Central? You didn't shout out LA? You went to the IE? That's where we at now? Like, no disrespect to the IE, you know. I got roots there, you know what I'm saying? Like, both my parents is from Pomona. A lot of my family is still in the IE to this day. Like I said, both of my parents are from Pomona. I got a lot of family in Pomona and beyond. You know what I mean? The IE has its own culture, but for South Central to just be overlooked like that, that's crazy. And it really is the case. A lot of people, you know, we talk about LA rappers that are, you know, have a lot of success, but some of them, they're not actually from LA. They're from Compton. Kendrick is from Compton. The Game is from Compton. Compton is a different city. It's a whole another city. It's not South Central. It's not LA. It's Compton. Compton, California. They have their own city. Their own courts, their own judges. They are their own city. Anyway, West Coast, stand up. South Central, stand up. Crenshaw District, stand up. Africatown, stand the fuck up. That's why I'm still putting on for the city. You know what I'm talking about? It's not a lot of representation. And it's not a lot of credit given to our legacy in hip-hop. Other than, you know, NWA. But that's a huge part of our history. But that's not everything. That's not the end-all, be-all. You know, we have, you know, new people coming out and different generations, you know, representing for the city. And I always bring this up too. There hasn't been no West Coast female from Los Angeles, from South Central, that has been signed to no major record deal and has come out on a major mainstream level since 1991, since Yo-Yo and Boss. That's really, I really want to discuss it more, because what's really going on with the West Coast to where we don't have no females that are comparable to the Salt and Peppers, all the legendary women that we could think of. They're from the East Coast. And even the most successful ones now, they're from the East Coast or they're from the South. You know, shout out to Kamaya. She's putting it down, you know what I'm saying, representing the Bay Area. Again, though, I'm talking about Los Angeles. I'm talking about South Central. The Bay Area, they have a rich culture of supporting independent music. So it's no wonder somebody like Kamaya could bubble, because she come from an environment that nurtures independent music. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with Kamaya. Her music is tight. Saweetie, she's from Oakland. Saweetie, I don't enjoy her music as much like as a Kamaya. But, you know, again, you know, that's some females that's putting on for the West Coast. I can't knock what they doing. You know what I'm saying? But I would love to see some people from my city, you know, some women, you know, get put on. You know, even if I didn't exist, this ain't even about me. It's not about me and myself and, you know, what I want for me. It's like, I want this for the coast. The East Coast don't have just one woman. They have legends from each generation of hip hop. Like I said, from the early days of hip hop, Salt and Peppers, Queen Latifah's, down to the next generation, the 90s. You know, you had Lauryn Hill, she from New Jersey. We had Rod Digger, Jersey. Foxy Brown and Lil' Kim, they're from New York. Again, the most successful women in hip hop is from the East Coast. Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Eve, Philly, Remy Ma, New York again. New York stay with some females on top. They stay signing some females. South Central, Los Angeles, this shit is borderline fucking embarrassing. That this is the position that the women of the West Coast have been left in. You know what I mean? Because it does take two. the thing with the women of the East Coast, the men have elevated the women and have worked with them and helped to put them in position. Where here, I don't really see that so much. You know, think of all the West Coast crews that you can think of, all the West Coast rap crews that you could think of. I mean, how many West Coast female rappers can you think of that have had, you know, some kind of mainstream impact other than the ones that I named? And I would say that Yo-Yo is probably the most shining example of that, because she's still going off of her debut from 1991. She's had a fucking 30-year career. You know what I mean? Miss Toy, 20-year career off of a feature with Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Miss Toy. Miss Toy's from Inglewood, you know. Again, I really want to see South Central put on. At this point, it's not even a closable gap, though, because we can't go back in time. We can't create a Queen Latifah from the West Coast. We can't come up with a Lauryn Hill from here. We can't create a Salt and Pepper that had that sort of impact on the, you know what I mean? JJ Fad is not really comparable to Salt and Pepper, unfortunately. So, anyway, I guess the rant is over, but that's just what was on my brain right now. Today, it's just kind of, I didn't plan on really talking about all that, but yeah, like, what's really wrong with the West Coast? What's really wrong with South Central? Why did it take, I mean, even, you know, as much success as Nipsey had in the long run, we saw how much he had to go through, and all the people that didn't want to fuck with him, and, you know, all the labels that didn't want to sign him, and people that said that he need to get buff and start dancing, and just stupid ass shit that these fucking A&Rs and critics really think they fucking know, and they don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't know shit until the streets tell them what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Rant over. West Coast, stand up. I really would love to see some women emerge out of the West Coast, out of South Central, out of Los Angeles, and really just blow up. You know what I mean? Like I said, whether I existed or not. Just as a listener, as a fan of the music. I'm sitting back as a fan. I'm speaking as a fan right now. You know? Like, where is the Cardis, the Nickis, the Foxies, the Kims of LA? It's really sad that we've been lapped. We've been lapped in the rap game. The East Coast and the South has lapped us. They have lapped us, especially in the category of females. Ain't no West Coast Trina. Ain't no West Coast Meg Thee Stallion. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is going on? And it's a lot of us over here spitting. It's a lot of us spitting with different styles. You know what I mean? It's a lot of us. Like I said, you could take Brandy Kane, you could take Madam Brown, the Dope Man's Daughter, completely out the fucking equation. And I am guaranteed one of the best out here. That's neither here nor there, though. Never mind that. That could be debatable or arguable to each listener. You know what I'm saying? But that has been the consensus for all of these years, that I'm one of the best. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to just a category, when it comes to just the women. That's just, you know, that's been the consensus for years. But like I said, take me off the table. You know, it's a lot of females that have been doing their thing for years, and you can't just tell me that everybody is doing the wrong thing. Nobody got the right idea. Nobody got their shit together. Everybody is an asshole. Everybody is blackballed. Nobody got their market. Nobody's marketable. Nah, there's something bigger is going on where it comes to the West Coast females, and why we are not upheld as much as the women that come up out the South and out of the East Coast. What's your thoughts on it? Why is the females of the West Coast like on some D-list shit? And, you know, like I said, your biggest female superstars in the rap game is all from New York, New Jersey, Miami, and Atlanta.